Hi, welcome. It's Tuesday, January 17th, and our reading today takes us through the move from the land of Canaan to Egypt with Jacob and all of his family, and also an interesting account of the people of Egypt surviving during the lean years that were predicted by Joseph. Um, as Jacob finally realizes and believes that Joseph is alive, he decides, as we heard, to take his family to Egypt, and upon doing so, he uh, stops to offer sacrifices at Beersheba, and there, of course, God tells him, don't be afraid. Go and I will make a great nation of you. And when he gets there to Egypt, ultimately, and we are told that there are some 66 or 70 members of the family, depending on how you count them, Joseph sets them up in the land of Goshen as shepherds, which was their occupation down through the years. And of course, Joseph makes sure they're well taken care for, as we would expect, and sounds like things are working out well for them. Of course, we know down the road things turn out a little differently. But what I'm really interested today, and just want to spend a couple minutes on, is that whole episode during the lean years where the people come to Joseph as they run out of food, and Joseph keeps giving them options. And the first thing they do is Joseph says, sell your cattle and livestock, and they do, and he offers them corn, so at least they have something to feed themselves with. But then that runs out, and they come back, and this time they want their land. Joseph says, give your land to me, or the people say, give me your land, or we'll give you our land, and Joseph takes it. They feed him again, and ultimately they're willing to give up themselves, their lives, and become servants. Basically slaves to Pharaoh. They give up all their rights and place themselves in Joseph's hands and Pharaoh's hands in order to survive. And the reality is they end up giving up pretty much everything, although what we find is that they are able to survive. They are fed, and then they are able to take the seed and work the land, ultimately surviving. The truth is, at first when I read this, I was thinking, wow, Joseph's pretty shrewd. He and Pharaoh got a good thing here. They basically take everything from the people. Um, but the truth is, as I was thinking about it some more, the people never would have survived if it were not for Joseph's leadership. And in the end, the people of Egypt were willing to give up everything in order for Joseph to offer them food and to basically save them. And that's when it really dawned on me. Um, and how interesting is this parallel to the gospel. Uh, just as they were willing to part with everything earthly so that the one they trusted would save them, how like them we are. Ultimately, Jesus says, deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow me. Um, Jesus is the one who saves. And what he asks is, are we willing to call on his name? Are we willing to give up all or in order to be saved from sin to eternal life? That's a gift. God in turn gives it to us freely. But he asks us to trust in him and to keep him first in our lives and be willing to answer the call wherever he sends us in this life. And I thought, that's interesting. Every day I find it a challenge to keep the Lord first in my life. There are so many earthly cares and enticements that try to get in the way. And I find it interesting that there is this parallel in the Old Testament, that who do you turn to when you've got nothing in our lives? Who do we turn to when we realize there's nothing we can do about our sinful state? We turn to the one who saves. the one who has offered his life for us on the cross. And kind of helps us keep a perspective about the earth and everything in it and the gifts God gives us here on this earth, as opposed to what's really important, and that is the eternal, what God has promised to us through Jesus Christ. Would share with you that just the other day got a text from my brother Mark, and in it was a picture. And as many of you know, my mother passed away in November and is buried in Florida. And my brother stopped by the cemetery and sent me a picture to show me that the headstone was finished and erected there. And it got me to thinking that in all of this life, with all of its attractions, what's really important is understanding that I have a place assured for me in heaven through Christ, that what awaits is far better than what we have now, and that it allows me then to be in this world and to serve the Lord and to enjoy what He gives me, but always be looking to the future and something far, far better. Truly the best is yet to come. And so for me today, that becomes my challenge. Are my priorities in the right place? And am I willing to follow Him, even when I am fearful where it may lead, just like Jacob, who thought he'd be in the land of Canaan his entire life, yet he followed God and was blessed. I pray that you too will continue to walk with the Lord and trust in Him this day and every day. See you again soon.